school.
Where is it? Is it country school?
Sorry?
Is that a country school, like outside the city?
No, it's in Rosales.
Ah, okay, got it. Okay, but so is it near to your house or is it far?
Mm, 30 minutes around.
30 minutes around?
But yeah, but with the bus,
Yeah.
1 hour.
Oh my God, that's too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what time do they pick him up?
At 6 a.m.
Oh my God, it's very
And this
early.
time I go into my office.
Ah, okay, so you just leave him in the bus and run away to the
Yeah,
office.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. No, my dear, you have a very busy day,
Yeah,
and that's
everything.
every day.
Every day.
Yes. Okay. No, my dear, so it's very difficult to stay awake until this time.
Yeah, but it's the only hour that I can.
Of course, the rest of the day you are in the office.
Yeah,
Oh, my dear. Well,
it's
Nat, we're going to do it this quick so you can take a nap or go to sleep. Because I suppose that at this time you are already sleepy.
yeah, obviously.
Okay, Nat, well. So, my dear, today we're going to work in the only class of this week. This week is only one class, and it's going to be the week number 5. This week it talks about services that we pay for, like many of the ones that we have here. Financial services, like for the taxes, for many different things or services that we pay for. Cooking services, sometimes for us, sometimes for our kids, no? It's also a possibility. Skincare or beauty services, like, going to the salon, the nails, the eyelashes, the eyebrows, no? Well, the girls tend to do a lot of different things on their faces, right? Also on the hair, and also the guys, not going to the barber shop. Legal advices in case that you need some legal advice also too, and tech support in case that something is broken and you don't know how to fix it, no? Which of these services do you use more frequently?
Oof, financial services and legal services.
Okay, why the financial services, not?
Because I am finance manager.
Ah, okay. So what kind of, but you provide these services or you hire these services?
I provide financial services and
Uh-huh.
I receive legal advisors.
Of course, okay. And well, for the same reason, also legal advices because they are connected, no?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. And do you use any of the others? Like, for example, tech support? Sometimes do you use it?
yes,
What
yes.
for?
Sorry?
What for? For what device do you normally use tech support?
Mm. When my computer doesn't turn on, for example, or blocked, or freezed, or whatever.
Uh-huh. The computers. How old is your computer? More than 10 years?
No, 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 it's new.
Ah, okay. But it still freezes and keeps freezing and keeps
Yeah,
flickering
it's
and
normally. Yeah,
okay, very good. And do you hire cooking services or you cook by yourself?
depends on. In the week, I cooking,
Mhm.
and on the weekends, I go out.
Okay, very good. But you don't have like a cook at home, like someone who helps you cooking in your
Ah,
house.
yes.
Also too.
No, bueno, this week, yeah, me. But normally, my a person that helped me with the with my home,
Okay.
with the
With the
house.
house chores of the house,
Yes,
cooking, cleaning, and stuff.
yes,
Okay, very good. Great. Um, your kid, does he receive the lunch at school?
yes,
Hmm. So you pay for that cooking service too, right?
yes. Because
Okay.
on the other side, I need to wake up at third a.m. So no,
Exactly.
that's
So
possible.
otherwise, you would have to wake up like, no, you wouldn't sleep really.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, great. Now, my dear, it says which is the best place in your city to have that service. For example, if I am looking for a financial service, I don't know, I am looking for a investment advice. Where can I go?
Mm,
For example, I need to get my money invested.
in this moment, there are a lot of options in or apps or advisors that you can provide, or yeah, you can help you with these invest. For example, I don't know, one app is Mis Propias Finanzas, for example, MP, MP, F,
MPF?
MPF, for example, is a good option. Or yeah,
Okay, very good. And if I need to get my tax prepared, it's getting close to the tax declaration moment. If I need to get my taxes prepared, can I do it in the same app or there are another apps?
depends on the complexity. If you have a simple income tax return,
Mhm.
maybe yeah, there are a lot of applications that you can help you.
Okay.
But if you have a difficult income tax return, maybe it's better that the accountant help you.
So if I have a complete company, maybe it's not a good idea to do it in the app, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, very good. What about if, well, I don't know. I don't know much about the skincare and beauty services, but if I need to get, for example, my skin cleared, where can I go? Do you know any place?
Yeah, in the malls there are shops, for example, Medipiel, for example, or
Ah,
Bella
okay.
Piel.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah,
good. That's
good
true.
option.
Very good. And the last question, it's a little bit hypothetical, but if you had to give up, it means to surrender, to leave one of these services, which one would you choose? Which is the service that you say, this is not essential. I would quit this service forever. Which of these ones that we have here?
Hmm,
Mhm.
maybe the skincare services.
Okay. Yeah, of course. That's not essential. I mean, you can live with some scar in your face, but you cannot live
Yeah,
with a problem in the finances, right?
and there are a lot of ingredients, natural ingredients, for
Yes.
example.
Of course. Now, do you use those masks which are with sugar and coffee and stuff? Hmm,
No, I don't use it, but yeah, maybe.
of course. Okay, my dear. So the purpose of this, of all of this, like talking about services, it's talking about actions that we don't do by ourselves. When there is an action that you don't do, but another person does for you, we gotta use something that it's called the causative. The causative is a structure in which we mention that we receive something. Ready? One person does something for another person. In this case, what we are doing is that we are going to receive some services, no? For example, you are a person who provide one service to to other people, which is financial advice, right? In my case, I am also a person that provides a service for another person. In this case, there is a like an exchange of services and money, usually. And that's what we use as get something done or have something done. For example, in this case, I am not going to invest the money myself. I am going to get my money invested by another person who is expert on the subject. For example, you, right? Or, for example, you are not going to explain the topics of English to yourself. You are going to get your topics explained by another person, that in this case is me. So, when we receive a service from another person or a favor, maybe it's not necessarily related to the money, but when we receive a service or a favor from another person, we can talk about to get something done. Ready? Get done something, it means like receive the service. This get, it can be also replaced by have something done. And then it's just more informal. They get more conversational, and have it's more formal. It's just more for the formal context, for the, labor context. Yeah, like what we know as formal context. Okay. So in this case, the structure that we're going to use is very simple, and it can be used in any tense, not necessarily in present, but it can be used in any tense. We're going to use the subject first. This is the person that it's going to receive the service. So this is the person that is going to get the lunch prepared, is the best person that is going to get the taxes organized or prepared. No. Then we have get or have. But this get or have can be in any tense: present, past, present perfect, simple future, whatever. Then we're going to use the object. The object is literally the object that is going to be the service about: the taxes, the money, the skin, whatever, right? And then we have the verb in past participle. This verb in past participle is the action that it's going to receive the object. Ready? And then we can have the complement. The complement can be the place or the person, doesn't matter. But the most important part is this combination of parts: get or have, the object, and the verb in past participle. For example, before, when there were no cell phones with selfies, no, the people used to use these photograph cameras, ready? But it was difficult to take the photo to yourself. So sometimes people use, or bueno, people got, well, let's use, people got pictures, pictures taken by others, right? Because it was difficult to take the picture to yourself. So it was very common that the people got the pictures taken by others. So not by money, it was a favor, but other people do the action for you. Hmm? Or for example, the babies cannot prepare their own formula. They are babies, no? But usually the babies get the formula, which is, the milk of the baby, the formula, prepared prepared by parents. Well, normally the mother, but sometimes also the fathers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in this case, then the object is the formula. Yeah, what the people do is prepare. So get the formula prepared. Can I use have? Of course, I can say babies have the formula prepared by others. Hmm? So in that case, the option, it's yours. If you want to use get, it's great. It's more conversational, more fresh. If you use have, it's a little bit more formal, more elegant. That's good. The tense is going to be determined by the context. For example, this have and get, it's in present simple because this is something that still happens every day. But this, people got their pictures taken before because that is something that it doesn't happen anymore. Normally, the people just use a selfie stick or take the selfie and that's it. This is something that it doesn't happen anymore. So that's why I use it in past. Hmm? Ready?
Okay.
The important thing is that here we're talking about services that people don't normally use by themselves, right? For example, I need to repair my car, but I don't know anything about mechanics. What can I do?
Um, people get machine.
Cars, yes, well, the car. Okay.
Okay. The car maintenance, man,
What is the action that they are going to do to the car?
services.
But yeah, I mean, there are many services, but what are the possible actions that they are going to do to the car if I take it to the workshop? Maybe they are going to paint the car. Maybe they are going to repair the car. Maybe they are going
Mm,
to fix the car.
okay.
So people get the car and then the action, no? So people get the car repaired, yes, or painted or remodeled, whatever, no? So in
Mhm.
a workshop. por ejemplo, in a workshop. What is the meaning of workshop? Do you remember?
No.
Taller.
Ah, okay.
Exactly. Good.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh. So people get the object, of course, is the car, and then the action that they do to the car is repair the car. Hmm? What about if I don't take the car to a workshop but to a car wash? What happens if I take my car to a car wash?
People, people get um wash card. I don't know.
People get the car
The
washed.
car wash it.
Exactly, because it's the object first
Yeah.
and then the brain past participle. People get the car washed or have people have the car washed. Hmm? Agree? What happens if I go to the barber shop and I say like,
Okay, people get, yeah, the haircut.
exactly, very good. So, but in this case, if it's to a barber shop, maybe the subject is not people in general, but guys or men, no?
Okay, yeah.
Men get the hair cut, right? In a barber shop, right?
Mhm.
The women get the hair cut in a beauty salon, right? Or for example, the women get the nails done in a nail salon or nail shop, right?
Okay.
For example, if I go, well, if I need to give my income tax return, but I don't know who can prepare it for me. A psychologist, maybe? No, I don't think so. Who can prepare the taxes for me?
Okay. People gets the income tax returned. I don't know what is the word.
Return, yeah. And I could say prepare. I could say, yeah, they prepare the taxes, no?
Yeah,
Mhm. So, but it's in past participle. So people get the
prepared
income tax prepared by who?
by the accountant.
Muy bien, by an accountant. Right, that's it. Accountant. Good, excellent. So, as you can see, all of these are services that we normally pay for. Yeah, the haircut, the car wash, the car repair, the taxes, all of those, right? In that case, it's not necessary always that the subject is people. I can change the subject. I can say man, I can say me, I can say you. The subject can be anybody. Ready? And
Okay.
remember that I can use get, but I can also use have. So, for example, this one, which is a more formal context, we are talking about taxes and stuff, is not so informal. I can use, for example, people have the tax in the income tax return prepared by an accountant. Ready? So it's fine. But maybe I don't want to say that la gente le preparan el contador le prepara tal, but it's like un contador te puede preparar, it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
This get and have can be adapted or modified depending as I want. For example, here I use it in past. I can change and say that, teacher, that you need the favor, you can have the income tax return prepared by, suponiendo que tú conoces un contador, you could say, okay, by Joselito, José, no sé qué, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, we can use this structure, yes, for talking about what people get done, but also for giving recommendations, no? I said, bueno, if I want to talk about skincare, you said, teacher, you can go to a mall, and in the malls, there are many shops, Bella Piel, ta, ta, ta. So you could say, for example, that you can get your skincare prepared, your skincare routine prepared in places like Bella Piel, for example, by using can get or can have. Okay.
Okay.
This can be in any tense, past, future, present continuous, whatever. No? So if I say, for example, one question is, where is your son now? Yeah, what is your son now in this moment? So you say, teacher, he, it's a boy or it's a girl? It's a boy.
Boy.
It's a boy. So we could say he's getting his dinner prepared. He's getting his dinner prepared by his dad, for example. No? It's an example, right? But he, in this moment, is getting. I affect or I modify the get. This verb always is going to be in the past participle. The one that change is get or have. The other one always stays the same. And the object is always in the middle of the two verbs. Ready? His
Okay.
dinner, his soup, his meal, his rice, whatever. Okay?
Okay.
Questions, kind of, more or less.
No,
It's fine.
so far so good.
Excellent. Very good. That's it. Right. So remember that here I can include the should or can for talking about situations, no? So I need to have my laptop. I need to have my laptop checked. But I am not from Bogota and I have no idea in what part of Bogota can I do it. So what can you tell me?
You get,
You can get because it's a suggestion, right? So, or you should get.
okay, you can get fixes,
But what
no,
object?
the laptop. You can get the laptop checked in Unilago.
Perfect. That's it. In Unilago is the most common place in Centro Alta Tecnología, whatever, no, but in that place. Muy bien, very good. So you should or you can get your laptop checked in Unilago. It's a good recommendation. It's a recommendation for a service that I don't do for myself, because I don't know. So you can also recommend like that. Okay.
Okay.
Question, my dear.
No,
Wh-
it's
Now I'm going to make another question.
not.
Where are you going to get? Where are you going to get your hair done? Where are you going to get your hair done the next time? Where do you plan to?
Are you referring hair done? It's a haircut, for example.
Whatever that you do to your hair. Sometimes it's cut, sometimes it's ironing, sometimes it's styling the hair, sometimes it's dyeing. No?
Okay, something related with hair,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Where, yeah, well, like hair,
Okay.
get your hair done is like fix your hair. Whatever that you do,
Okay, okay,
tainted or whatever, right?
okay. I will, I will get my hair done in the how did I mean of salon de belleza? I don't know.
Beauty salon.
Okay, in the beauty salon of my friend.
That's great. So instead of doing them off, you could use I could get my hair done in my friends with
Beauty
apostrophe, my
salon.
friend's beauty salon. Exactly like that. Right? Okay, now I can see that you got it clear, right? So no problem at all. Good. Okay, my dear. So in here, in the infographic of the week, I let this link, right? The link is about this game. So we're going to have like a game in which the idea is that you can select the correct option. Okay, but
Okay.
give me 1 second. I'm going to try to do something that it's giving the control to you. There, let's see if you can do it. Nat, try to move your mouse and let's see if you can move. Exactly. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
Mhm.
But the first question is the other context, right?
Yes, I'm going to explain it in a second. Do you know what is the meaning of burglary?
No.
When there is a person, a robber, who enters to your house and steals the things that are inside.
Okay. I don't know.
The last one, it's kind of strange, right?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to retake the control here. Wait. Listo, my dear. I took over the control again. Well, such a answer is listo, my dear. So, wait. Here. So in the first part, it says, but I think it was correct, that one. Apart from get something done. I think it's correct because that's the one. In here, in the first and in the fourth, I think here, this one. Yes, exactly, right. In this case, they are exchanging the position of the things because they are finding like conseguir una persona para, right? In
Mhm.
which case, I think that one is correct. We had a web designer to make our website. I think that's correct. Yeah. Now the other ones are talking about the object, not the person, but the object. The new logo, very good. The car, something, to get something done to your hair, right? Here again, it was we got an approved mechanic to inspect, not to have inspected, but to inspect, no more, right? So because in
Okay.
this case, is the action similar to what we did here, no, in the first part. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one I think it's correct. I don't know why it's checking like that, but that one is correct. So because it's talking about the person, conseguir un mecánico para, so in that this is to, and the very infinitive, to inspect our car. But on the other ones, it's great. The fridge is the object, so we can get it. Ready? You should have your car repaired. Ahí está bien. I don't know what's the matter in that case, but that one is fine. Okay. So, okay, so far so good. You got it right. Esto está bien. I don't know what's the matter there in that case, but it's good. Ready?
Okay.
So, in one hand, we have the services that we talk about here. And in complement, yes, we have the suggestions. Ready? The last time we talked about this possibility of suggestions that it's by and the expressions with infinity. Remember that one way to reduce the pollution is to la la la. We talk about that suggestion. Infinitives are usually connected with expressions with to be. One way is to, one option is to, it's important to, normally. And we also mentioned that we have the preposition by for talking about you can have your car repaired by taking it to the workshop. You can have your hair cut by going to the beauty salon, something like that. But the gerunds are going to be introduced also with expressions with about. For example, what about? I said, you know what, Nata, I need to get my taxes checked, but I don't know. Ta, ta, ta. I said, teacher, what about using mis finanzas personales? What was the name of the app?
Yes. MPF.
Exactly, my personal finance. Yes.
Mis propias finanzas.
Mis propias finanzas, that's the thing, sorry. So in that case, you said, what about using with the ing? No? So when we give suggestions, we can do it using it with by. Yeah, it's a possibility. You can get your finance organized by using mis propias finanzas. Or what about using blah, 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 right? So these
Okay.
expressions by and about, they introduce expressions for giving suggestions. You can do it by what about? Or there is another one which is have you thought about? Do you know what is the meaning of that expression? Have you thought about?
Como cuáles son tus comentarios o, bueno,
Mm,
pensamientos, es que suena raro, ¿no?
good. Pero en este caso es have you thought? Es como, ¿y has pensado the
Ok.
suggestion? For example, teacher, have you thought about using mis propias finanzas? So there is another suggestion, another solution. Have you thought about this solution? But after the about, there is another verb in ing. Okay, ready? We also have the suggestion, why don't you? Which is a negative question. Why don't you go? Why don't you blah, 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 right? The option for ¿por qué no tal cosa? Ready? Okay, I need to get my car washed, but I don't know where. Okay, teacher, why don't you check on Google Maps, for example? Why don't you check on Waze?
It's common in Spanish.
Exactly, it's the same as in Spanish. ¿Por qué no? Something like that, right? And the other ones, which are even more common, are going to be the modal verbs for giving suggestions. Modal verbs like should, ought to, could, can, may, might, as we saw
O
in the
to.
exercise. Sorry, my dear.
O to.
Ought to, yes. Ought to, it's a synonym of should. It's also debería, but with a change. There is a moral component of that recommendation. For example, I don't know. I need to get my motorcycle checked because next week it's the year check-in, the Tecnomecánica check-in, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's going to be passed like that. So he said, teacher, you ought to get your motorcycle
Mhm.
checked.
I haven't never Heard?
You have
Heard
never
it?
heard of O2?
No, never.
And it's pronounced like Aura. ¿Segura este Aura sí lo has visto? Aura.
No.
No, never. Bueno, esta es como la contracción del O2. ¿Ready? Casi
No.
como tenemos Wanna y Gonna y todos esos.
Honey.
Aura es el O2. Right?
Okay.
Mm. And it's a recommendation, but there is a moral implication on that. For example, it's a teacher, you ought to check your motorcycle because it's dangerous. No, should is because it's a good idea, but ought to implies that it's a moral obligation, a moral recommendation, better. Okay.
Okay.
Mm. And of course, in addition, you have could, can, may, might, all the other modal verbs for suggestion. Okay. So, my dear, this can be used for giving suggestions about all the other services, but it can be for giving suggestions about anything, no? We have environmental problems. Ah, teacher, why don't you recycle water? Something like that, no? So these expressions are especially for giving suggestions, but in any kind of context. If I want to be more formal, I can use negative questions or modal verbs. If I want to be more clear and more specific, maybe I can use infinitives, right? That it's like the most common expression. And if I want to sound more natural, probably the expressions with by and about are very natural, no? Very fluent and very conversationalist, right? So they are specific for different contexts, but the idea is that you can use all of them, that you understand how to use all of them. Okay,
Okay.
great, excellent. Really, my dear Nata. So questions with the causative, get, have, something done.
No.
No, it's clear. Questions with this part of the suggestions.
No.
No,
It's
is
clear.
that right? Okay, very good. So mm, sorry. Ready. So what should I do if my house is a mess, but I don't have time to clean it by myself? What should I do if my house is a mess, but I don't have time to clean it by myself?
Maybe you should call um, a company that provides services, clean services.
Of course. So maybe you should call a company. Very good. See? And what? What is going to do the company? It's going to
And
provide the service. So, and get your
mm,
house what?
house cleaned.
Yeah, very good. Of course, that's the action that they are going to do to my house. That's why I'm looking for them, right? So maybe you should call a company and get your house cleaned. That's great, right? Okay. But what about, but what can I do if I feel terrible headaches? What should I do if I have terrible headaches? I think there is something bad, but I don't know what can be.
You can go.
Uy, ajá.
You can go to the hospital and
Ujú.
get your no and get your medic no medicines. No, I don't know. Your medicines. I don't know.
You could say, for example, pues, teacher, puedes ir al hospital y que te saquen exámenes o que te revisen la cabeza, right?
Mm, and get your Heracase. No.
What happened? Well, in what part of the body happens the headaches?
In what? In what?
In
Okay.
what part of the body happens the headaches?
In
In the
your
head.
head.
Exactly, very good. So you can go to the hospital and get your head. checked. One possibility, right?
Mm,
Mm. Or, well, you can go to the hospital and get exams taken. Te saquen alguien, el doctor o quien sea, que te saquen exámenes, right?
mm.
Get exams taken or get your head checked. Ready? Mm.
Yeah, in English, I don't think fast.
I know, don't worry, that's normal, don't worry. But you were doing a pretty good job, right? So the fact that you can organize that thing, it's good. Of course, it comes with the experience, but it's good. You have good vocabulary, so don't worry. Don't feel bad because the fluency is something that is going to take more time, right?
Okay.
Don't worry. Last one. What should I do if my son's birthday is coming and I can't like bake a cake? So what can I do in that case? What should I do?
¿Y no tienes la torta?
Yes, I don't know how to. I can't. I
Okay.
can bake. No puedo hornear. I don't know how to do that.
Okay. You can you can call to Rappi
Okay, you can call Rappi.
and get the cake prepared.
Very good. More, bueno, prepared. The Rappi is not going to prepare the cake, but the Rappi
No.
is going to deliver the cake.
Okay, delivered.
So you can call Rappi and get the cake delivered. Yeah, that's a possibility. Ready? Perfect, my dear. Other options that we can use for giving suggestions. Maybe the question is with modal, but I don't have to use the same modal for answering. I could say t-shirt. What about calling Rappi and get, bueno, en ese caso, and getting, porque tendría que
Mhm.
usar también el ing, and getting the cake delivered. Yes? Or maybe you could say here, instead of using you can go to the hospital, you say, teacher, sorry, why don't you go to the hospital and get your hair
Okay.
checked? Or, try to change all the different options, no? Maybe you should, it's a possibility, but I can say, teacher, the best option is to call a company and get your house clean, right? Try to
Okay.
include the different expressions for recommendations. Listo, Nat. Very good. Wait, we're going to have a final activity over here. Do you have your cell phone near to you?
Yeah.
Yes? Ready, my dear. So please scan this code. Scan the code. We're going to practice a little bit and then we finish, okay?
Listo. Ready.
Right, dear. So let's read the instructions. Very simple, but okay. So choose the correct option among the four. Okay, so she got her cell phone repaired yesterday. She's getting her cell phone repaired yesterday. She will get her cell phone repaired yesterday, or she would like to get her cell phone repaired yesterday. Okay, very good. So it's the first one since we're talking about yesterday. Okay, it's simple past. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Got, right? Muy bien. Very good. She have had her taxes prepared many times in the last years. She has had her taxes prepared many times in the last years. She had her taxes prepared many times in the last year. And she had her taxes prepared many times in the last years. In the last years is en los últimos años, including this one. Okay, very good. She has had present perfect. Yes.
Present.
Ahí lo que estamos haciendo es jugando con los tiempos, modificando los tiempos, but it takes a lot the context. Ready? So Ah, ok, in the last years incluye este, o sea que present perfect. Ready. Muy bien. Ready. The tattoo artist always gets his tattoo done by him. He always got her tattoos done by the tattoo artist. He always gets done his tattoos by the tattoo artist. He always gets his tattoos done by the tattoo artist.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
But very good. You choose that one.
Okay.
Very good.
Maybe it
Since
was a chiripazo.
it was a lucky
Be
strike, yes.
honest.
So always gets, right? Because always it's a routine, it's a habit.
Uh-huh.
So present simple, yes. And like in this case, it also gets, but here we have it the other way. Yeah, because the tattoo artist is not the one that receives the service, it's the other
Okay.
person who receives the service by the tattoo artist. I am having my lunch preparing. I am preparing my lunch. I am having my lunch prepared. I am had my lunch prepared. You my God. So number three. I
Yeah.
am had my lunch prepared. No, because it's with verb to be. Si fuera solo had, yes,
Uh,
I had my lunch prepared. But here it says I'm in this moment. I
yeah.
am having my lunch prepared. Right? With you, very good. Number five. We want to bake a cake for mom's birthday. We have a cake wanted to bake for mom's birthday. We have a cake wanted for mom's birthday. We want to have a cake baked for mom's birthday. Oh my
Oh my God.
God. So in that case, we have a cake wanted. No, we want to have. Queríamos tener, right? So we want to have a cake baked for mom's birthday. Very good. Listo. True or false? The sentence is correct. I usually get my laundry done at home. I usually get my laundry done at home. Correct? True or false?
Ay,
Cualquier pomster.
sí, se me bloqueó el computador.
Ah, my dear. Listo, good. Bueno, the answer was correct. ¿Sí? Estaba correcto. I usually get my laundry done. También pudo ser I usually get my laundry washed. Yeah,
Ujú.
both possibilities. Okay, next one. Again, is this correct? I had my testimony taken by the police. I had my testimony taken by the police. Very good. ¿Cómo sería? I had my testimony
Taken.
taken. Exactly. Very good. This needs past participle. I got it. My functions explained by my boss. I got it. My functions explained by my boss. Very good. What is the mistake?
Gotten.
Muy bien. O gotten o got solamente.
Yeah.
Ready? So in that case, I have gotten or I got solamente my functions explained by my boss. Okay. Y nine. Celebrities get many pictures taken on red carpets. That one
Mm,
was correct.
yeah, it's
Yes.
correct.
Yeah, of course.
Taken.
So,
Correct. Yeah.
taken on red carpets. No, muy bien. And the last one, the bartender got a beer served by me. It is not, because it's the other way. El bartender no le sirve, él sirve, right? I get a beer
Mm,
served by the bartender. Pero en esta parte la combinación estaba bien. Lo que estaba mal era que él es el que provee el servicio, right? Y no el que
claro,
lo recibe. That's it.
obviously.
Mm.
Yeah.
Listo, nada, very good. Entonces, so there are the
The
difficulties
winner
with
is.
number one. That's always number one, of course, no? Listo, my dear Nata. So the possible difficulties here can be that sometimes we can confuse the combination of verbs. That's one of the possibilities. But the other is that we can confuse the way, the who is providing the service and who is getting the service. And that it can also make me confuse the structure, right? Because it
Yeah,
depends on that.
it's important to memorize the structure.
Yeah, of course, right? And especially that you can modify the structure depending on the tense, that you can put it in present, in past, modifying the get or the have. That's the most important part, right?
Okay, okay, Leo.
Listo, Nat. So, my
Okay,
dear,
thank you
questions?
very much.
Everything good?
Next week? No?
See you next week. Everything good? Questions? No? All fine?
No?
Super.
Clear.
Great. Have a good night. Sleep,
You too.
rest.
You too. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much, my dear.
Bless
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
You too.